Just a couple of slides only I have made. So we all know it is devastating. But can we really prevent it? My answer is no. You cannot. The reason I say so is, I think all operating surgeons have had endophthalmitis. Even the American study which was done a long time back, 400 and odd cases they could accumulate for endophthalmitis. So we say hamare OT saaf nahi hai and all these things. They also have incidence of endophthalmitis. That was EVS study. EVS study, Dudani must be knowing, 419 precisely cases they had collected. And they studied prospective randomized data. This is all what all of you promise, but devastation can happen. It's serious primarily because it actually makes you mad. You see, VR surgery is not also immune. I remember having 3 patients of endophthalmitis on one of the Saturday mornings. Friday we operated. And unfortunately for me, all of them were either doctor or VVIPs. But I had done a simple surgery for all of them, silicone oil removal, but all 3 developed endophthalmitis. So generally, in such a cluster of cases, the fault lies with the system, not with the operating surgeon per se. But in any case, it is in this country specifically, the onus lies on you, that you are supposed to check everything. And it actually makes you mad because your whole practice, believe me, can be ruined because of this. We know what happened in Madhya Pradesh recently, and in fact everywhere. So incidence is very low. Even single case for me is very, very stressful. Recently means couple of years back only. So I had this young man, post-traumatic macular hole. So we operated, but next day he had some reaction. Fortunately, we could save him because the key is to act in time. But if you have series of cases, actually, as I said, you become mad. If this happens to an operating surgeon, there are people who don't operate or shadow surgery are done. They have musty life all through their life. But people who operate, believe me, are very stressful. So I keep talking to friends, your surgical life kab khatam hoga? Surgical life jis din khatam hoga, so you actually become relaxed. And as I said, no surgery is immune. Whensoever even a small procedure like Avastin injection or 30-gauge injection also have had incidence of endophthalmitis. This is for you people to debate, but literature says scleral are less prone compared to clear corneal. So Howard Fine may not agree with this, but this is literature that clear corneal is slightly more prone. Why should we talk of prevention? Because always prevention is better than cure. Because an eye which has developed endophthalmitis, believe me, thinks for that eye is never the same as a clean eye. And vision recovery may not in all patients, it's only in say 40-50% you will have reasonably good vision. And a lot of these eyes become, depending on the virulence of the organism and the sensitivity pattern also, many of them are left phthisical or without light perception. And we all know and understand it is the perioperative flora around the skin and the sac which gains access into the intraocular cavity, and that in majority of the patient is responsible for the infection. And hence the thrust for last few years has been on prevention by intracameral antibiotics, because the infection is going into the anterior chamber or wherever you have made the cut or the puncture. So that area has to be clean. And this slide shows that the usage of or the belief in intracameral antibiotics has increased over the years. So it was 2006, I think, the first Ascaris study had come out. So that time 30% were using. Now majority means nearly 90% people are using, if not in all, in some high-risk patients. So usage of intracameral prophylaxis has increased. And this has been a global thing. European study was in 2007, as I said. They had very strong, compelling data of usage of cefuroxime. The issue with cefuroxime was not easy availability in a single-use vial. So European people were using, but American and Asia was not. This was a study from France, where again compelling data that if intracameral antibiotic has been used, the incidence is much less. American experience also, intracameral antibiotic was more effective in prevention of post-cataract surgery endophthalmitis. So this is an important graph, slightly complicated, but the black things, this was in 2005, and this blackness has reduced. That means people who are not using antibiotics have reduced. Whereas the white thing here in the bars, where which they have started using, they have increased since the time of this report of cefuroxime came. You see now, majority people, as I said, started using. The other is this hidden triangles, which shows the incidence of endophthalmitis has come down. So wheresoever people have used antibiotics, the incidence has come down. Indian study, in fact, has been one of the major contributors also, especially from Arvind Group, Harpriya, where lakhs of patients have been studied, and this was published in ophthalmology also, and it was clearly shown that usage of prophylactic moxifloxacin had 4-fold reduction in causation of endophthalmitis. And it was very heartening to see this. I have copied from American Academy website, David Chang recommending, based on Arvind Eye study, that we should be using this because of the compelling evidence. And this graph again shows how this incidence, because of usage, has come down to very, very low levels of 0.009% or so. The issues always has been, because there are 3 things which have been propagated. One is cefuroxime, one is vancomycin, and other is moxiflox, is the availability as single use. Now in Europe, cefuroxime is now available for last few years by the name of Aprocam. Cefuroxime is available. But believe me, nothing can, see all this prophylaxis, this can't take away the importance of ruling out pre-operative local sources and per-operative, paying attention to the wound construction, paying attention to sterility of the instrument, single usage instrument. Believe me, all of us sometimes become lax and keep roaming around with syringes and multiple using in multiple patients, and drapes to isolate the lashes, and 1-minute contact time or 3-minute contact time of betadine inside the sac, apart from painting. So these things can't take away the usage of intracameral antibiotics, which I've listed the last, but is also very, very important. So good wound construction, betadine, drape lashes, do not compromise on this. You can't just say that it's a 5-minute job, cataract, I'll come out. You never know what can happen when. So there were AS guidelines which were printed, which there was some controversy whether you should use topical antibiotics or not. Although majority said no, but majority of the survey which was done, they did use topical antibiotics, although literature does not support this, that usage of antibiotics 1 or 3 days is definitely causing reduction of antibiotics. But betadine, sterilization of instruments, there is no doubt, and mounting evidence says that intracameral does lead to reduction. So these things are very, very important, which I have listed here. Betadine on the skin is, and in the sac, contact time you have to give for contact time, and proper usage of the speculum to isolate and these lashes is very, very significant. And do not compromise on your OT protocols. Do not go in for cheaper fluids and other things which can actually mar. Thank you very much. This is what I wanted to stress.
Thank you, sir. Next topic is acute chemical burns, which is a true ophthalmic homage. Yes.
No, what Lalit is saying correct, but there is no study to prove that things are not working, rather than saying they are working. So if you say antibiotics are not needed, there is no study to prove that antibiotics are not working.
No, there is one study.
Yeah.
You see,
Because we know that, if you put an antibiotic drop, the concentration in the aqueous is known. And in 2 hours also you can get a MIC value in the anterior chamber.
I am aware of this.
And that is going to decrease the conjunctival flora also.
Absolutely.
So we say betadine has evidence, not for endophthalmitis. It has evidence for a reduction of a
Flora.
conjunctival flora only.
Correct.
So we can't say betadine going to prevent endophthalmitis. No study to prove that.
No, the American study.
We know
which
that these antibiotics, betadine, all precautions are going to decrease the contamination of the surface. But is it working to decrease the endothermitis? We are not sure.
So let
That
me,
is a
let me-
different way of looking.
Let me clarify this.
Yeah.
There was one study from Asia only, you see, which was published. I don't know when it was published, but I remember I used to quote that study. There was a large cohort where pre-operatively antibiotics were used, and then another cohort where pre-operatively antibiotics were not used. Believe me, incidence of endophthalmitis is higher in patients where antibiotics are used.
No, that's a different
No,
issue.
no, this is
What
a
I'm
high
saying,
volume data.
for our audience, what
Just
Lalit I'm
listen to
saying,
this, listen to
till
this.
we prove that that thing is not working, we can't stop that practice.
I am not saying that. That is the
I'll,
reason.
I'll continue practicing antibiotic drops, I'll continue practicing intracameral, till I prove that they are not working. So that's the scenario today.
Very good.
If you other way around, you're saying same thing, but I'm saying the other way around. Till it is proved they are not working, I can't stop because that's the practice now. I can't say you can't use antibiotics. I'll use antibiotics because no study proved that they are not going to, work.
That's actually good. So after I finish, I'll speak.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
finished.
So what I'm saying is, the reason we included in AIF guidelines was this only, because of one is evidence-based medicine, one is experience-based medicine. Okay. Experience-based medicine does say, because majority of the people who were there, which included very, very high volume surgeons, they said we use and we continue to use based on what you are saying correctly, because once you put antibiotic, this flora reduces and it makes scientific logic. भाई flora कम होगा तो अंदर कम ही जाएंगे ना. That's perfectly okay, absolutely okay. But it has to be if evidence उसके लिए ज़्यादा नहीं है. अभी statistical evidence I'm talking, because I told you one study where it was said that lot of people do not use also. And the other thing is the fourth study American which I said, उसमें जहाँ मैंने fourfold लिखा उसमें एक लिखा हुआ है कि usage of intracameral has high volume evidence, whereas usage of prophylactic drops statistically do not support that. But your logic is correct, I don't deny, and that is the reason I was compelled to include in the AS guidelines. Otherwise, we would not have included in the AS guidelines. So, these AS guidelines which were made specifically said 1 to 3 days is advocated.
I think as a corollary to that is the question of giving systemic antibiotics. And the
Zero.
second corollary,
Zero.
I know, the second corollary is the legal implications in case there is a mishap. And how will the courts look at the fact that you've not treated with prophylactic antibiotic topically? What would be the status there?
Judges have no knowledge of all these things.
That's
You
the
see,
problem.
You can befool any judge by saying whatever. But in judges, these guidelines have been produced, and a lot of ophthalmologists have been saved because of following these protocols. People who maintain documents, registers in their operation, they have been saved. भाई हमने तो ये सब follow किया था, हो भी गया तब भी कोई बात नहीं है. But documentation is very, very important. But majority, you see, even at center of site, we prescribe 1 to 3 days. I'm not saying that you should not use. What I'm saying, the evidence चाहिए ना उसके लिए. Evidence means statistics. Statistics as of today is not in favor. Is not in favor.
Both
You are all high volume
either
surgeons.
you prove or
discuss and
disprove,
debate.
both are not there. Either you prove or disprove, both are not there.
Yeah.
In that way, the conventional practice has to be practiced.
Yeah.
If I look into surgery in the body, not eye, any surgery, prophylaxis has to be given. So how can we say I can't
So
give a prophylaxis?
prophylaxis, therefore, the wealth of this thing is tilting towards intracameral, because intracameral का जो statistical evidence है is very, very high. Is very,
That
very
I
high.
understand. They have evidence, but there also, because I can't say don't use intracameral.
As I said, experience
because
versus
I can't say
evidence.
there's a proof that it's not working. So it has to be
Chal,
practiced.
we'll talk.
I guess this debate will go on and on and on because obviously all of the surgeons we would like to give post-op and pre-op antibiotics because we want to play safe and
But the other thing, Tityal, may I tell you that in my family, like my wife got operated, my father got operated, I did not use at all. Did not use at all. But betadine just before going to the OT, yes. But believe me, I'm not cooking this. No antibiotics were used at all. Only thing I used was Tropical Plus drops twice only. That's all. Nothing else was used. And all of them I have 6/6 vision.